Last week, Buffalo State showed resiliency in the fourth quarter but fell short in a comeback attempt, dropping its first Empire game of the season on homecoming day. This week, the Bengals faced Salisbury, a team that has a unique, flexible offense and has beaten them in all 6 encounters. Would this day be any different? On the opening kickoff, Buffalo State makes a statement. Marquise Artist takes out Ryan Cobb's legs, and it's a fumble! Sucker Kukaj recovers. Unfortunately, the offense sputters, and Buffalo State has to settle for 3. Mark Montana makes it look so easy. Salisbury's offense finally takes the field. John Dunbar options it to Jerome Johnson. He breaks it to the outside and runs down the sideline for a 60-yard gain before Marquise Artist tracks him down. Salisbury scores on a 3-yard Dunbar pass to Aaron Moore. Later in the first, Moore scores again, this time off a pitch, and it's 14-3 Salisbury. Second quarter now, Kyle Hoppy sees Ryan Carney open down the sideline, and out comes the cannon. First down. Rich Pete ends the drive, taking the option to the left and spinning his way into a 9-yard score. Deficit cut to 14-10. Salisbury ball now. Surprise! Dunbar fakes the handoff and airs it out to Ryan Cobb, who snags it in one-handed. He's off to the races. Salisbury goes back up by 11. Buffalo State tries to respond. They get deep into Salisbury territory, but Billy Joyner's drop is ruled a fumble by the refs. Third quarter now, more bad officiating. Hoppy finds Doherty in the flats. He cuts up the sideline and steps out at the 5, but gets the ball past the pylon. Where do they mark it? The 1-yard line. What? Lucky for Buffalo State, Rich Pete cashes in on the hardest 1-yard score of his life, stretching the ball past the goal line. Next Salisbury drive. J.D. Hook gets the carry, but the strip master, Marquise Artist, strikes again. Mitchell Thomas pounces on it for Buffalo State. They aren't able to capitalize, though. Hoppy gives a low handoff exchange, and it results in a fumble. Nick Anzelo recovers. Salisbury scores again with their typical long drive. Moore takes the pitch and gets his 3rd touchdown of the game. Salisbury goes ahead 28-17. Buffalo State on offense now. Hoppy is looking for a big play, but the refs don't care about Carney Camera. That's downright disrespectful. He mossed him. Buffalo State tries to respond on 3rd and 13. Hoppy stares down Doherty, and Michael Landry steps in front for an interception. Salisbury drives down to the 1-yard line, but Buffalo State's defense comes up with the goal line stand. Not in my house! Buffalo State's offense feeds off the momentum. Hoppy finds Doherty over the middle, and he gallops his way to a 35-yard gain. Move the chains. Pete finished the drive. He bounces it out to the right. He avoids a shoestring tackle for his 3rd score of the game, and the best hug of his life. Buffalo State needs a 2-point conversion to make it a 3-point game. Hoppy sees an opening, and he takes off. A field goal will tie it. Salisbury ball. On 3rd and 9, they panic and go into a spread offense. Dunbar is forced to pass, and he turns into Santa Claus. Sherman Nelson gets a gift. He tries to return it, but forgets all about his blockers, and Dunbar forces him out of bounds. Buffalo State takes its first lead, punching it off the turnover. Pete takes it left and dives in for his 4th score of the game and the 7th rushing touchdown of the season. Salisbury attempts a comeback, but Dunbar continues to show why they run as often as they do. Sherman Nelson gets his 2nd pick of the day to secure the win. Buffalo State improves to 3-1 for the first time since 2000. Kyle Hoppy threw for 253 yards. Rich Pete ran for 140, and his 4 touchdowns tied a career high, which he set last year against Hartwick. He now has 7 total for the season. Sherman Nelson raised his interception total to 3, playing in just his 2nd game of the season. The Bengals will be in Frostburg next week for another Empire 8 showdown. Interviews are up next, but first we'd like to thank the honorary captain, Ben Botwin, for participating in the opening coin toss. He's been diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Fans can donate online at coachsecuremd.org.
You can't horn in on any one of our receivers. As we talked about the week, our offense is set up to allow the defense to tell us who's going to catch the ball. And one week it might be Mike making 12 catches. But the next week, because of what the defense does, it might be Ryan Carney, it might be Isaac Clark or Billy Joyner, who knows. But that's how a quarterback has to read the defense and not force anything. A week ago, we were forcing. One of the things about a triple option, there's very few teams that run it in the nation. So you don't see it very often. So for your defense to get ready for it in the course of a week is challenging. Our scout team, as well as they can do it, will never have the speed that the opponents have. So it's difficult. And a lot of times you got to hang in there in that first half to get adjusted to what they're doing. And I think we did that. I don't think there was necessarily any adjustments we had to make defensively. It was just getting off blocks and making plays. And we came up with some pretty good turnovers as well, and that's huge. To get those and then take advantage of them.
That's what we worked on all week, is just getting all of our receivers, because we have a great core of receivers. Every single one of our guys could start with us, and you know, I just looking for what the defense was doing, and every play one guy was open, so that's what I was doing. Like Coach Boyce said, we wanted to make some noise in the Empire 8, and I believe we did that today.
Offense, we just came out slow, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say we got the most dynamic and high-powered offense in the Empire 8, and we just got to get going faster. The rest of the game, we executed. We didn't really have to make no tweaks or anything. We just had to come down to us doing what we got to do and play Buff State football.
It turned the game over a lot. I mean, it switched energy sides. Once the defense make a big play like that, the offense got something to be hype about and go out there and make plays. Basically, what they was doing was they were overloading one side, so we're a mom one way, so the whole D-line was shift for one man. Basically, what he was doing was just picking holes, so we just trying to shut holes down.
Well, Coach told us we needed someone to make a play, and plays have no name, so I just went out there and played my game, and the ball came to me.
Eye discipline. That's what the game came down to, and I told everybody in the locker room, I'm like, this game gonna come down to eye discipline. To play football, you have to be able to play with your eyes, and that's what it really came down to. In the beginning, they had us kind of running, and we was trying to overcompensate for the next player, but it really come down to trusting the next man to be on his responsibility. So near the end of the game, we all talked, and we really just started trusting each other and started locking it up. But we never wanted that feeling again. Like after that game, you seen people heads was down, tears was falling down people's face. You never want that feeling of being lost, that the next man better than you. So I feel like we dug it up. Like we was like, this is the same thing. We said that in the locker room, we like, this is the same thing as Alfred, man. We down, what we gonna do? How we gonna face this adversity? Then we came out, had to show what Buff State Bengals doing. End result, I don't know the score, but I know we won. That's all it come down to.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas.